Hello everybody, my name is Blaze. You may have saw my recent video asking people to share my business plan and my idea around to hopefully get it under the eyes of some angel investors that have the ability and are willing to help me on this journey and can see the true potential. But other than that, it was really badly edited, kind of on purpose. And I wanted to express that I am a thinker. It's what I do. I live in here. Everything I do is up here. Um, not a maker. I love makers and I love creators and I follow them and I admire them. And I think like a lot of them, Adam Savage, I would get on so well with. Oh my God. We'd be best friends forever. uh, but I lack the ability to create. I've tested many mediums. I've tried art, painting, sculpture. I wished to try glass work at one point, but it was never viable. Um, had no financial or a reasonable way to make that happen. But this is going to be a rambling video because it's all going to be stream of conscious. It's all going to be real. That's one thing I promise. You will always get my authentic self. I'll never hide. That's something I've been kind of doing lately, and I don't want to do anymore. And in this project, I am 100% open. That is what it's founded on. Because I'm going to go through how I came to this point and why I need to do what I'm doing. Um, Back in January, I came to a really dark place. Um, I was an analyst in the healthcare system, all during COVID. Um, and I could watch trend lines and I could follow. Um, I can follow the deaths and the positive numbers and the negative numbers. And when I was watching the news, and I'm seeing what the news and the government are feeding to the general public. When I know the numbers we are reporting to the government and they don't seem to line up, it opened my mind and my eyes to something's going on that I don't know. And then came our 25th president. What a shit show that was and still continues to be. When he comes on camera and says things and says these horrible, horrible things and people applaud, I questioned reality. Then we got more recently people like Tucker Carlson saying things like, yeah, I lie when I have no other option. Yeah, I lie. And he is on a news channel. So we walk around in this daze, just knowing that we're being fed bullshit all the time. So then that really started to open my eyes, and I started looking around, and I started seeing all this reality questioning things, and I really did question reality because half the country seemed to love this guy that I considered the next thing to the Antichrist. In my personal viewpoint, like, he is straight evil. And then I understand half the population saw this guy as a savior. And I'm really questioning, am I living in two separate realities? What is the mindset of someone like that? I can't understand it. I have the inability to understand the far right mindset. So out of this came the desire to help, right? No, before that, let's go back a little bit. Why I think I'm going to lose my job. Here we go. Here's a topic. Yeah, so that whole ramble, that's why I can't do my job. Okay. That whole ramble before, that was stream of conscious. It did not go where I wanted it to go. That's why I can't do my job anymore. That's the mental mush my mind has turned into. I can barely remember how to do my job. I was 12 years as an analyst for a pretty major medical system. You don't survive that long in that industry without knowing how to do your job. But since the decline in my mental health, questioning reality and my place in it and my purpose in it took me to a place I wanted to check out. I've had enough. And one thing you must understand is I am a loving husband. I love my wife dearly. I have been by her side since we were 17 years old. We're both 47. We've spent over half our lives together. I love that woman dearly. And our four children, our four surviving children, I love and I'm so proud of, and they're such deep thinkers themselves. Sometimes I'm afraid I made them too jaded, and because I brought them up to see the stupid I was seeing, and and I don't think that was the right decision. But getting back to my purpose, why I'm doing this. I can't do my job anymore because I can't focus on it. I, I I forgot how to do it. I work in a specific tool, and I've lost everything. I don't know why I can't think anymore in that way. I don't know what it is. I I spent the last 3 months kind of on a short-term disability because I had ended up in the hospital for, I'll just say it, suicide intent, attempted, and I needed help, and I got meds, and I got therapy, and I'm trying to set up ongoing therapy, but I need to find someone who works with my insurance, and I work for a hospital. And yeah, that's what it is. This rambling mess is what my head's become, you know? But if I can use my insight in in this mess, if I can use this to help broaden the minds of others, and I know there are people like me who've somehow clicked open and looked around the world and saw something that changed their perspective or opened their eyes. And I understand, I really do, that what I perceive is totally different than what everyone else perceives. My struggle is wanting to continue in the reality I perceive without a purpose. I cannot, I can no longer work at a job so I could make money, so I could work at a job, so I could make money and pay my bills, so I can work at a job and make money and pay my that. And I've talked with a wife about this many times. That's not living, that's surviving. And sometimes I don't want to survive anymore, I want to thrive, but I have no avenue to do that. I have no innate talents other than my mind. And I want to share that, and I want to do that, and I want to make that my career, and I want to support my family with the one asset I have, my ability to think. But there's no market for it. I put my heart and soul into that video. Now the business plan, I might have came up with it with the help of ChatGPT when I was straightforward about that. Straightforward about it. Am I quite that eloquent? No. Is there anything false in there? No. I guarantee my unique viewpoints in the people I look to hire can help open your eyes. You know the power of brainstorming. Everyone does. I mean, just think of such a diverse um, perceived reality we can put together and truly explore questions in, especially in the creative scope, but not even that in the scientific scope. I have no scientific background, but I can listen and watch Neil deGrasse Tyson and I can come up with questions to ask him. And maybe he's not thought about certain things, because one of the most common phrases I hear when there's flies buzzing around and I can't get rid of them. When I'm in conversation with most people, I I most often hear, I've never considered it that way, or I never would have looked at it that way. That is what comes up the most in conversations with me. Because I may not be the best conversationalist, and I want to work at that. Um, but I try to make my partner, whoever I'm conversing with, or if it's a group, I try to describe my mental images in the way I think, in a way that they can interpret and help broaden their own vision and their own scope, and in turn become more creative, more inspired. Because if they see more, they have more to work with. And that I've always been drawn to the arts. Like I said, I have no innate talent for any of them. I call myself an artist without a medium because my mindscapes, the way my mind works, it's art to me. And that really did change once my eyes started to open. Before COVID, I feel like I was a drone. Honestly, I was just going along living my life like everybody else. Since COVID, since my eyes opened, I that's no longer an option. It's not worth it. I'll go back to that dark place that I really no longer want to be in. I can't afford it. I really can't afford to log into my job because I'm afraid that I'm just going to lock up again. I can't do my job. I don't know how. I I I don't know how I've done it for this long. Looking back, I don't know how I got here. Now the drastic change. Now here's something. This drastic change in my thought process. I recently brought up with my PCP, my doctor, and I asked for a referral to neurology because maybe there's something going on in here. Psychiatry, they're finding nothing, and they're prescribing me meds, and I got major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder are my two diagnoses. Um, with SI. Um, yeah. See, and that's another thing. I just lost that train of thought. Neurology, that's what it was. I something's going on up here, and I need to figure it out what it is. And so I asked my PCP to set up a neurology referral. Nope. I got a letter back from the hospital saying they cannot accept referral. They denied my referral. What does that even mean? No one will see this. I poured my heart and soul into that last video, and it went nowhere. What does that mean? If if my heart and soul, I put my everything into that, and if what in my mind seems like one of the most amazing ideas in the world of creativity, if no one else sees a value, if there's no one with the ability to help that sees any value in it, where does that leave me? If I ran this through my head 500 times and I worked on it so long, if my purpose has no place, where does that leave me? Food for thought.